Arg! Ahoy, mateys, and welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 25. We be Captain Jack Sparrow, General Manager of the 2024 Pittsburgh Pirates, and we have just come off a triumphant series against Minnesota featuring great performances from Paul Skenes and Mitch Keller. And I started this video doing a little bit of transaction planning because I noticed if we go here to our front office and organization is where I actually wanted to go. Jake Lamb, we designated him for assignment because I was going to waive him. But just out of curiosity, I decided to shop him around as well as some other guys to see what kind of deals were out there, and they were quite interesting. So I did actually make a trade offer, and if I can remember how to look at that, I will show you. Wrong screen. What my pending trade was. So it started with me asking what I could get for Jake Lamb, and Miami offered either Nick Gordon or Xavier Edwards. I thought both were fair. They both have some pluses and minuses to them. Neither are great players, but they are certainly players who could fill a role for me in both similar roles. So you see Nick Gordon could be another depth utility guy, has more versatility than Ji-Hwan Bae, and probably overall is a better player. He has a minor league contract. He hits lefty, so he'd be a good counterpoint to, complement is the word I was looking for. Complement to Nick Gonzalez at second base. We could switch them off. One could hit against righties. The other could hit against lefties. Xavier Edwards offers some similar things. He's not quite as good defensively as Gordon. He's a little bit more of a patient hitter, especially better at making contact with the ball. Better at avoiding strikeouts. And he's a switch hitter, which is nice. So I like both those things. So I decided, what could I start doing if I wanted to grab maybe both of them or some type of package deal? What I ended up doing is offering this crazy trade, which I don't think they're going to accept, but I offered first base prospect Tony Blanco. He's 19 years old. I thought he was 18. Has a lot of plus side if you look at this in terms of being a power hitting first baseman. And because he is a righty, he doesn't really have much of a long-term future for my organization, because another thing that I did in between videos is if I go to, let me see where I found it. Home settings. There we go. If I go and look at the statistics for our ballpark here, you'll notice that our home runs for right-handed batters are skewed very, very low compared to our home runs for left-handed batters. Overall, we have a difficult park to hit home runs in, but if we are going to hit home runs, it's going to be lefties. So I'm looking for lefty power hitters, righty contact hitters, preferably righty contact hitters that can get me doubles, triples, steals, things of that nature. Those are the things that I am looking for to build around this team. And a guy like, I get back here far enough. A guy like Blanco, probably not going to fit into that big picture. Hunter Barco was another guy that they actually had asked for, and he doesn't look like he's going to develop into much of anything for me. Right now, his future would be a borderline starter. And Max Meyer here, right now, is a borderline starter. He could be more than that. He's been good in AAA. They called him up to the pros, and he's averaging a strikeout per inning right now in just a few performances, doing better in real life than in this game, but that was a guy I wanted to take a chance on. And then Andrew Nardi is another guy that I liked. He's a left-handed power reliever. He could fill some bullpen depth for me that I'm sorely lacking right now. So, and working with that entry-level contract. He has a few years left on that, which is good. So I offered this. We'll see if it goes anywhere. My assumption is they're going to decline it, but I have ways to sort of get through this. I'll probably just drop Meyer off the trade. I'd be fine losing him because I don't need to stock up my depth with starting pitchers, and chances are if he did join the organization, he would be a starting pitcher. And on the topic of starting pitchers, I am getting ready for our series upcoming against St. Louis, and I wanted to figure out who I wanted to be my 4-starter here. It was going to be one of my lefties, but we're going to go ahead and sim this game against Sonny Gray versus Roansy Contreras, and then we'll go to Eric Lauer versus Lance Lynn, and we'll finish up this video with our second Paul Skenes start, who I've moved to the top of our rotation just based on how rested him and Keller were. So he'll go ahead and pitch before Keller now. So I think that game would be, if I'm doing the math in my head correctly, it'll be this game against Freeland. So we'll go ahead and play those 2 games, but we'll sim through the rest of them and we'll get halfway through June. We'll see what's going on with this trade. One last thing that I wanted to do is I will actually do it at this point in the video. Go ahead and take, that is not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to my organization and take a look at Quinn Priester. So I had actually looked at shopping him around, and we'll go ahead and do this right now. So you can see I already have the list formulated. I kind of went through the list, saw who was available for us, and a couple names stood out to me as guys we might be interested in. One of them was Daniel Johnson. Could be a depth outfielder for us. Hitting 277 in AAA right now. Not a huge fan of that, but better than what Quinn Priester is offering us right now. Another guy would be Nick Sogard. I'll just pause on this screen for a second. The things I like about him, he is a switch hitter. And if we switch over here, very good against left-handed hitters as far as contact and avoiding strikeouts go. A lot to be desired in the gap power and eye situation, but and again, a guy who could be a depth infielder for us. So someone who seemed interesting to me. Another guy, a couple pitchers that I liked. Spencer Arrighetti is a guy who could be a future bottom of the rotation guy for us. If you look at his scouting report, he's ceilings at a 4th starter, which is better than some of what we have. But what I liked about Arrighetti is he has at least 3+ pitches, which is good. He just needs to work on his control a little bit. The thing that makes me nervous is he's an extreme fly ball hitter who's pitching righty in a park that we've determined in this video favors left-handed home run hitters, even though it is a hard park to hit a home run in general comparatively to the rest of the league. So he would be an option. Scrolling down a little bit, if you see anyone that jumps out at you while I scroll through this, please let me know. But I did a pretty deep dive into all these guys and no one really jumped out at me. But, you know, I'm not always right, just right most of the time. Tyler Wade, another guy similar to some of the people we've been looking at already. He'd be a utility guy for us. He can play every position but first and catcher. He's got plus speed. He's average basically everywhere across the board except for power. So that would be the one downside to him, but performing well at the AAA level so far through this year for San Diego. And last but not least, on the pitching front, Mason Montgomery, a left-hander, has 3+ pitches here, could develop a 4th if we, try and go through it. He is a fly ball pitcher, which isn't great, but could be worse. He's 23 years old, so he has some room to develop. Could be someone to take a flyer on. And again, this is moving Quinn Priester, who just isn't really working out for us long term. He doesn't look like he has a ton of potential for us. If you look at his scouting report, our head scout says he would be likely limited to emergency starts or long relief. And I would rather just take a flyer on someone than keep him around, especially when, if you look at him, he is very unhappy. He thinks he should be playing in the majors. So we're just going to move on from Quinn Priester. So based on those 5 guys, if you have anyone that stands out to you, leave a comment and tell me who you'd like to trade Quinn Priester for, and maybe I will give you some extra coinage as an assistant general manager to Captain Jack Sparrow. You can be the first mate. How about that? So let's go ahead and sim game 1 of this series, which is going to be the Sonny Gray game. Roansy Contreras, and we got obliterated. I forgot to take Jake Lamb off DFA. So one thing I'm going to have to do is actually move some guys around really quickly. And I might just move Ji-Hwan Bae back down since he hasn't been doing much. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. We'll put Lamb back up there, wait for that trade to close out. If the trade doesn't, I'll probably just do the 1-for-1 trade with Jake Lamb rather than outright cut him. Let's take a quick look at what happened in this game. Looks like terrible hitting, only 3 hits through the totality of the game. Roansy Contreras got beaten up pretty hard. So did Martin Perez. So did Marco Gonzalez. So overall, terrible day on both ends. Error from O'Neal Cruz, his 5th of the season. And it looks like Paul Goldschmidt, Jordan Walker, and Neil Gorman all beat up on us. Even Nolan Arenado. Goldschmidt with his 11th home run of the year. So bad start to this St. Louis series. Let's see if we can save it on the back end. We're going to go ahead and finish today. We have received a reply to our trade proposal. I don't like them adding any of those guys. So let's respond to the message. We'll discuss the trade again. I just want to see what I get in the make work now. Yeah, so we're not moving any of those guys, so I'll hit never mind to start there. It says no. Let's go ahead and see what happens if we remove Max Mayer. We need more than what you've offered. Make this work now. Same guys. If I remove Blanco. Yeah, same guys. So I think Nardi might be the sticking point for them here. So if I do get rid of him, they seem to not have much of an issue. Really quickly, I'm just going to remove Xavier Edwards and re-add Nardi and see if they have anything to say about that. They don't. Make this work now. Yeah. So I think Nardi is really the sticking point for them, unfortunately. If I do just Jake Lamb for these two, I like the idea of Vidal Brujan, a prospect who didn't quite pan out in real life, but is doing pretty well in the AAA level. Could be some type of role player for us, switch hitting utility guy. Pardon me. All right, sorry about that. Switch hitting utility guy. Not great at anything, but not bad at anything. To rephrase that, actually great at base running. So we could be a factor into the team somehow. But really fast. Excuse me, I got a dry throat here. Yeah, it's just really Nardi is the sticking point for them. So let's go ahead And just go back to what we were doing with the jumbo shrimp. Add Bruhan. Add Xavier Edwards. If we do a make this work now, I'm curious. If we do Blanco, then I go back over here and add Meyer. Forster. I'm trying to move guys without losing capital, I guess. Would not want to move Ashcraft. I think Carrion might be, or Forrester. None of these guys are really worth a whole lot. You'd like to move someone older if you could, I guess. Diego, relief pitcher in AAA. Yeah, let's just go ahead and add him and wrap up this deal. Complete trade. We've gotten the trade. Big win for us. Apparently, the general manager of Miami has had a stroke or something. And we'll go back over here. We need to designate some guys for assignment. We will put Meyer in AAA. Oh, he's got to be on the 40-man roster first. My apologies. 40-man roster. Do all these guys? Yeah, they all have major league contracts. So 3 guys. Throw them all there. And then I think we'll go Nick Gordon to start up there. Put Edwards and Meyer down there. And last but not least, I just want to update my staff and see where he is, and that's where I thought he would slot in, which is perfect. And back to my lineups really quick so I can set some things up. We're going to put Sowinski back in at center against righties and replace Palacios. Really fast, I just want to see Eddie Olivares plays left and right, and Palacios. So yeah, we're going to throw Palacios out and right for that situation. I could put... Yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. We'll see if we can make Sowinski a little bit a little bit better in right field. Since technically he should be better in either of those than in center. And I'll let Palacios stay in center. We'll see if that affects anything. I'd like to be able to develop that up. I'll keep him on the bench against lefties, even though he's not that much worse against lefties. I'll just keep it alone for right now. Really fast, just want to look at Palacios. Yeah, I'll just keep him alone there for right now. Yeah, I'm thinking too hard about it. And then in the meantime, we don't want to make him the leadoff hitter. We're going to put Palacios back up there, and I will actually slot him in our 3-hole here. Yeah, I like that is the lineup there. One more change just to get a little differentiation there. All right, so I like our lineup going into this game. We'll keep Nick Gordon on the bench for now. Actually, let me throw him in there at second base against righties. Let me just make one more change. So now let's go ahead and get this game on the road. Should be a Cardinals victory. They are better than us, but we'll see. Lauer getting the start as a lefty. Went up against Lance Lynn, who's had a rough year so far, 6.44 ERA. Let's see if we can do some damage. So Palacios starts out with a fly out to second base. Not a good start. And there's that big block of text that we need to just power through. Brian Reynolds hitting second, batting .242 on the year. And on the second pitch, makes contact straight up into the infield. And Arenado grabs it over in foul territory. 2 down. Sawinski up, 1-2 count. Lynn gets him to ground out to second, and that is a 1-2-3 inning for Lynn. Good for him. Bad for the Pirates, who are on the road here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. I believe St. Louis has the division lead right now, but I will have to double check that once we get out of this game. Lauer, who has not started in a few games, giving him another opportunity here. I'll start things off with a 5-pitch strikeout to Tommy Edman, and he immediately injured himself. Wow. What in God's name happened there? So a pending upper body injury on his first guy. I guess he shouldn't have started the game, right? So who do we have available for us? I guess we can go... We have Falter, we have Ortiz, Perez and Gonzalez have both burned out a little. Let's go with Ortiz since they had a lineup to face a lefty. And we'll just switch things up a little bit and see what happens here. Donovan batting second. And he grounds over to second base, but it makes his through. And we have a 1-out single with Paul Goldschmidt coming up second. Makes contact, hits it out into left field. Should be an easy play for Brian Reynolds. And it is 2 away now. And Jordan Walker, who did a lot of damage in game 1 of this series, will take a 5-pitch walk to put a runner in scoring position for Nolan Arenado in the 5 spot. Shoots it right up the middle, but should be out number 3. And it is. Palacios puts it away. 0-0 after 1. Lance Lynn back up on the mound, and O'Neill Cruz. Let's see if we can will a home run into existence here. It's actually going to be a 4-pitch walk. Unless he went crazy and swung at something. All right, so we have a man at first. Andrew McCutchen up, who's had a rough season thus far, and he will ground into a double play. 6-4-3. Tremendous. Nice little jump there by Edman in the animation. Gotta love that. Rowdy Tellez up batting in the 6th spot with 2 outs now. First pitch is a scorcher out into left field. Should hang up at the... Oh, no, it is over the wall. Wow. I thought that was for sure going to hang up at the warning track, but Rowdy Tellez puts the first run on the board, and we are cooking. Here comes Nick Gordon with his first at-bat as a Buck. Right up the middle. Easy play for Win at short. And that is going to be the top half of the second. Let's go back to the Redbirds at bat. First batter, Gorman, flying out to right. And then there's a ground out to second by Contreras. Here comes Carlson. It's a lot of pitch to contact. Ortiz making quick work of him. Through 2. We retain the lead. Lance Lynn back up now, pitching to Yasmani Grandal. And that is going to be, ooh, great play by Edmund. I thought that was going to for sure make it through. Looks like someone got a minor injury on that play. Brian Hayes up, hit 9th in this one. And with the full count, shoots it deep into the left corner. Should be an easy double for him. And Brian Hayes making solid contact after being demoted in the lineup. Like to see a response like that. Josh Palacios shoots it up to win, but it looks like that's going to be an error by the shortstop. And now we have men at the corners for the heart of our lineup here. Brian Reynolds hitting second. And makes contact, should fall in. That'll be an RBI single. Keeps runners in scoring position with another out on the board available to us for a sacrifice. Let's see what Sawinski can do here. Makes contact on the first pitch. It's going to fall in. I think that'll load the bases. Not quite deep enough to bring one in. But now we got dangerous O'Neal Cruz, who walked on 4 in his last at bat. First pitch coming in. That should fall in. It does. Another RBI on the board. Bases stay loaded. Keeping the pressure up on Lance Lynn and keeping that ERA high. Andrew McCutchen here in a clutch situation, and he strikes out. Oh, wait, no, he did not strike out. I thought that was a strikeout, but that was a ball wild pitch. Now 1-2 count. Kutch making contact. Out into center. Should hang up and be an out. Not quite deep. Oh, no, it is deep enough for the sac fly. So I didn't see this dynamic camera. I got to do something about that. Does bring in the RBI. Love to see that. Rowdy Tellez up now, and we are up 4-0. 1-2 count coming in hot to Tellez. Makes contact. Not as good as his first time up, and that will end the inning. But we did what we needed to do in that inning. Put 3 on the board, and now hopefully Luis Ortiz can settle into a bit of a zone here. Starts by striking out Wynn. Up to Edmund, the leadoff batter. Makes contact, shoots it out into left, into right. Great play by Sawinski to put it away. That is now 2. Brendan Donovan up. Right up to center field. Palacios should be able to get that and makes a nice diving catch to make quick work of the third. Bucks up 4-0. Just 1 hit for the Cardinals so far. Nick Gordon strikes out looking to start the 4th. Yells Manny Grandal, who started things off in the 3rd, making contact up to second base there. Edmund puts it away. Good looking defensive play for the Gold Glove second baseman. And Brian Hayes with another full count, making contact, this time right back over to Edmund to end the inning. And Lynn needed an inning like that after his 3rd. Let's see if the Cardinals bats can do anything to help out. I'm crossing my fingers right now that they can't. And Goldschmidt immediately starts out, grounded out to first. Strikeout to Jordan Walker. And here comes Nolan Arenado. Grounds out over to Gold Glove third baseman, Brian Hayes. We got a lot of defensive stars in this game. Palacios to start the 5th here. 2-2 count coming in. Probably a strikeout, and it was. Brian Reynolds up now. Full count. Making Lynn work at least. That's going to be a strikeout again. Lynn up to almost 80 pitches through 5. See if Sawinski can do some damage here. 2-2 count. Looking. So Lance Lynn strikes out the side. Good for him. Took him a lot of pitches to get there, though. And it looks like Luis Ortiz is tiring out. So I think we're going to go with... I'll get Bailey Falter going, as well as Carmen Majinski. And we'll see how far Luis Ortiz can make it for us. 2-2 count to start the bottom of the 5th. Gorman makes contact, but should be an out. Palacios under it, and that is 1 away. Wilson Contreras up next. 0-2 pitch, and strikes him out. And now we'll go ahead and visit the mound. He feels worn out. Dylan Carlson up. Falter is ready. So is Majinski. I think I'll give Ortiz this last batter, and then I will go to the bullpen. All right, struck him out. Good way to power through. Good emergency start, I guess, right there after one pitch. So I'm going to just have... Yeah, I'll actually get Falter to come in when I'm not too concerned about looking at Edman. He's a little bit better against lefties than righties. Maybe I will go with Majinski there. In the meantime, let's just go ahead and get some bats going. 0-2 count to start off to O'Neal Cruz. Should be a strikeout, and it is. That's 4 strikeouts in a row for us, I believe. Hopefully McCutcheon can't make it 5, but it looks like he's gonna. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Rowdy Tellez up now. Last time he had no one on base. He hit a home run. This time it looks like he hits another one. This one was a mammoth shot out there into right center over near that wall of fame. And it is now 5-0. 2 solo homers for Rowdy Tellez in the second and now the 6th, plus that heavy hit in third for us. Good work, Pirates. All right, Majinski back up in the bullpen. Nick Gordon's going to strike out here. He does. Let's get that bullpen going now. Carmen Majinski. First batter, 2-2 count. Mason Wynn. Striking out. Yep, got him. Love to see that. All right, Tommy Edman. This is going to be the one that'll make me a little bit nervous. And Edman is on base. I thought might happen there. Brendan Donovan up now. 1-2 count. Pitch coming in. Should be an easy fly out for O'Neal Cruz to get. And he's got it. That's 2 away. Paul Goldschmidt up now. Making contact. Key Brian Hayes. Ooh. Booted it. Thought he might be able to make it up, but nothing doing there. Jordan Walker up now. 1-2 count. Makes contact. Gonna make it through. Could be an RBI, and it looks like it will be. Palacios with the throw home, but he is safe. Now debating what I want to do here with Arenado up. Gorman on deck. I have a base open, but I also have 2 outs. Majinski's got arm left. I think I'll just go ahead and pitch to him. And that is going to be a 2 RBI single for Nolan Arenado. That's what I get for pitching to him. So I'm not too concerned. We still have a multi-run lead. But Nolan Gorman could change that here. Instead, he strikes out. Leaves the tying run out at home. And the Pittsburgh Pirates are up 5-3 through 6. We had a tough outing there, but not to be too feared. Hopefully our bullpen can hang on. Yasmani Grandal with a quick out there. Brian Hayes, first time he hasn't had a full count, and he will ground out to the pitcher. So back-to-back ground outs to Packy Naughton. That is a pretty cool name, Packy Naughton. 2-1 count coming in, and Palacios makes contact. Right, that was Palacios. Did I mess that up? So 3 up, 3 down. Debating how I want to approach this situation now. I think I'm going to get Chapman and Holderman going and pitch Majinski until he falls off the rails, which I think might be this batter. It is. That's a walk. I'm going to go ahead and visit the mound. It's not going down without a fight. Whatever you say, buddy. First pitch, contact, double play. Let's go. 4-6-3 double play set up by Nick Gordon. Great defensive effort in his first game. And let's see if he can get out of this. 3-1 count. Probably going to be his last hitter. Ooh, he actually made contact. Falls in out into left field. Just a little bloop single. And here comes Colin Holderman. Ooh, we got a stolen base. Was not expecting that. Which is my fault, I guess, for being a bad manager. Full count coming in to Edman. And he looks at ball 4. So now the tying run is at first. Brendan Donovan is up. And he makes contact, but it will be playable by Grandal. And we get out of the jam and keep that lead. Chapman should be able to come in now for the setup in the next inning. Let's see if we can do a little bit more damage, though. Really cooled off. Sawinski up. Makes contact. Should be an out into right field. It is not hard at all for Jordan Walker. And O'Neal Cruz, full count. That's ball 4. And here comes Andre Palante. Palante? I don't know how to pronounce that last name. I apologize. We're going to send O'Neal Cruz. He goes, and they throw him out. Wow. They were expecting that. Not the best. All right. Let's get Chapman into the game. And things could go really south here with these 3 dominant right-handed hitters against Aroldis Chapman, but Chapman's a beast. Former closer. Ooh, there you go. And things just got a little tighter. Jordan Walker with a home run into left center. Nolan Arenado up now. 2-2 count. I'm hoping for the strikeout. Not a strikeout, but should be an out. Easy play for Palacios out in center. Oh, man. I would hate to blow this one. Ivan Herrera coming in to pinch hit. We'll take a walk here. Tying run now on base. Wilson Contreras. 0-1 count. And we have a stolen base attempt, and he is safe. Ooh. Carlson coming up next. A lot better against lefties than righties. 1-1 count. Contact is made. Should be a ground out. And it is. That is the end of the 8th. And we are hanging on. Bednar on the way. Andre Palante is up. Andrew McCutcheon has been bad so far. So I think I'm going to actually attempt a pinch hit here. Unfortunately, I don't really have anyone great to pinch hit for him. I guess we'll go with good old Connor Joe. Because last time we put him in, he actually had a pretty good game. Even though he's had a rough year for us, he'll ground out immediately. Not what you were hoping for there. Rowdy Tellez, let's see if he can make it 3 home runs with no one on base. Nope, but that will be a single. So 3 for 4 today. We have the 2 home runs and a single. Nick Gordon, let's see if we can advance him. Is that going to make it through? No, it will not. So they get him out over at first. Does advance the runner up. Debating if I want to do a pinch runner, but I'm going to decide against it and let Yasmani Grandal hit. Full count, he swings, striking out, and he is thrown out over at first. And now it is up for David Bednar to get the save here. He's on fire right now. Going up against Carlson to start things off. 1-2 count coming in. 2 blown saves on the year. Gets that first batter to strike out. Brandon Crawford up next. Another 1-2 count. This time he makes contact over to Ke'Bryan Hayes. Easy play for the Gold Glover to make, and that is 2 down into Tommy Edman. 2-0 count coming in, so he's going to make contact. He does, shoots it out into left center. Jack Sawinski gets under it, and a big divisional win for the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right. So a good effort all around. We did what we needed to do for Lance Lynn, even though only 2 of those runs were earned. We got the runs we needed, and also great considering that our starting pitcher died after 1 batter. So overall, a good performance, great effort by Luis Ortiz, who picks up the win, his 4th of the season. And Rowdy Tellez, 2 solo shots in that one, the player of the game. Go over to mails and news. You see that trade. And if we check out the standings right now, we are still 6.5 behind St. Louis because we lost that last one. Let's go ahead and sim game 3 against Mats. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm expecting a loss here. And it is another big loss. That was JT Brubaker, who got obliterated, 5 earned through 3. I think we could have done better than that hitting against Mats. Looks like Ke'Bryan Hayes and O'Neal Cruz, Nick Gonzalez all getting it done, but just couldn't string together. And he hits a lot of doubles, too. I think that's just bad clutch hitting overall, and the pitching didn't do much to help us out. We have an important message. Eric Lauer is going to be out for 3 days, day-to-day. Not too concerned about that. And let's go ahead and play our next game against the Colorado Rockies. This one's going to be Paul Skenes going up. And actually, I think I'm 40 minutes into this video. So instead of playing this game, I think we've gone on long enough. So I'll start the next game. We'll do Skenes against Freeland. I'll do a Skenes doubleheader in that one. We'll do Skenes against Freeland, and then we'll also do him against Green. And I'll get your guys' feedback on those trades and any other trade opportunities you might think are on the table for us. If we look really quickly, one last look at our pitching staff. I don't think I'm going to be able to get anything from guys like Perez or Gonzalez or Ortiz. Ortiz isn't even really like a tradable asset, I don't think, or a guy that I would want to trade just because he's making league minimum. Bailey Falter, I would probably aim on not trying to trade him, but I kind of want to move the pitchers that we're not going to be using. So like Eric Lauer is a guy. If you are out there and you think there's anyone that we should be moving, let me know. But for the time being, ooh, did he actually have a start here? This will be my last thing I look at. So yeah, he did. Great performance. 5 strikeouts through 8 1/3. Didn't give up any runs. Good start to his career in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization for the Indianapolis Indians. So far, I'm going to consider that trade a huge win then. And one last thing before I end this video. Oh, we were green when I started this in the don't suck completely, but I guess we suck completely now. We'll hopefully make that green sooner than later. I think we can get to 500. We'll continue plugging away. We got a Skenes doubleheader coming up in our next episode. Hope you enjoyed this one, and let's go Bucks.